Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. So it's Friday, and the phases in the village have just switched over. So we went from phase 4 to back to phase 1. And this time we have, let's see, phase 1 is called Restoration. We can do the ranged accuracy. So I'm on my alts, so I'm not really focusing on combat per se. Although I'd like to do them all. I don't know why, just because I can, and I don't have to worry about really being hunted by bounty hunters. So I could do them all, but I'm not going to focus on the combat ones for now. So we have ranged accuracy. That was combat prowess. Enhanced reflexes, survival. Heightened sentences. I keep wanting to say sentences. Heightened senses for persuasion. Crafting mastery assembly. So I've already done crafting mastery assembly. I did survival on my Jedi enhanced reflexes. I don't think I've ever done this one. Heightened senses persuasion. It's called Cure the Sick is the actual quest. I may have done this during the original game, like back in 2005 or whatever, 4, 3, somewhere on there. Before I unlocked my Jedi back then. So, because the reason I want to do this one is because of the rewards. Cure the Sick, like the standard award is you just unlock the tree, Persuasion. If you do the extended version, you get Ice Pendant, +5 healing efficiency, which I don't think really does much. I'd have to look it up on the SWGR website. Probably interacts with how much mind you use, I'm assuming. Because every time you heal yourself, your mind goes down a little bit. I have to double check that though. And then if you do extra cures, if you do it again, you get the small Aurilian Plant. And I remember having one. The Aurilian Plant's pretty cool. I'll put a link in here for this, but it can create fruit that gives you buffs. It's pretty cool. It's somewhat difficult to grow. You just don't leave it in your house and let it grow. You have to do certain things to it to let it grow, to make it grow, which is pretty cool. Excuse me. It's night coffee time. And the Aurelian Plant, yeah, I think we'll go for that. So I'm not going to actually put any points into this tree. I'm just doing this quest for the rewards. So this quest is called Cure the Sick. Requires at least 9 experimentation points to cure the top symptom in bioengineering. So I prepped for this and got the bioengineering assembly and experimentation tree done. And I even borrowed my crafting outfit from my other alt, my third character. They should have never let us have a third character in this game. Because if you get Jedi, you end up with 4 characters, and that's just too much, I think. 1 or maybe 2 would have been sufficient. And even I think what should have happened is like on my main, it converted to my Jedi. I don't think we should have been able to unlock a 4th character after Jedi. Anyway, that's a whole different story. It's just too many characters. And what happens is it affects the economy, because every player can basically have their own crafter to craft something if they want to spend the time doing it. So, for instance, that's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. I can spend a whole other character on crafting my own armor. Hi, Salvador. Crafting my own weapons, crafting my own vehicles. I mean, you can't do everything, but if you had 1 or maybe 2 characters, you would have to rely on other people to be crafters in order to make that work. The other issue with crafting, and I don't know why I'm going on this tangent now, but I think about this a lot. I love Star Wars Galaxies crafting. It is the best in any game I've ever played, honestly, because it's dependent on resources and all the variances and variables with those resources. No, I don't want to put them together. Like you can see here, cold resistance, conductivity, all of these matter for certain schematics. The problem is they max fairly easy, especially for something like Armor Smith. No, I shouldn't say fairly easy, but it's not, within 6 months or 9 months of the game, you can max most of them out. And you can go out and buy them. The other problem is once an established person, just like in the real world, just like Amazon taking over, small businesses, once an established crafter is out there, everyone knows about them, and they just keep going to that one person. And armor and weapons don't deteriorate fast enough to have to go to anyone else. I've had this same armor I created myself when my alt was an armor smith, and another set of armor that my bounty hunter uses, my fourth character, I guess, for 9 months. I'm not even sure I've ever had to make another set of armor before. Now, they did put something in there that now that you only have to repair armor twice before, it dies. But I think I've repaired this once. And, it's what is this? These are the leggings, 50,000 of 67,000. Like, I play a lot. Granted, I don't go into instances, so I'm sure that puts some strain on certain gear. Weapons do deteriorate fast, but man, this is a crazy tangent, right? I could have made a whole video on this. Weapons deteriorate quickly, but again, you're still going to the same person. Anyway, off my tangent. Let's do this Cure the Sick quest. Okay, so yeah, you can also purchase a medical crafting suit and a droid with food private crafting station to speed up the process, which I am doing. I have my crafting droid right here, and I'm wearing my crafting suit. So you can see here is a shirt with medical assembly and experimentation, my chest piece, and my survival knife. Battery power is good enough on my crafting droid. Okay, the goal of this quest is to cure 5 villagers with varying symptoms. Talk to 2-1B, I see that medical droid, to get a list of medical symptoms in order of increasing severity. Start with the most severe and work your way down until all symptoms are cured. You can talk to the droid again for an updated list of symptoms at any time. Each droid is a separate patient. Okay, there's 2 droids there. And a new patient is generated immediately after one is cured, which allows you to do all 5 cures with one droid. Okay, so just talk to one. Even though they're walking around, probably makes it kind of confusing. There's 4 villagers and 2 droids, though, so I don't know how that works, but we'll see. Experimental biological counteragent uses 5 units of any floral resource and 10 units of any metal, which I came prepared with some flora and some metal. It is recommended that you have high and low quality of each resource, as high assembly with good resources can make it impossible to get certain cures, which, again, I came prepared with that. Hopefully I have enough low stuff. I only have 240 corn that has low. I don't know if this is used as overall quality, I'm assuming. I don't know. It doesn't say here what fields of the resource it uses, what specific categories of the resource. Okay. Experimental lines. Experimental primary agent. Increasing this changes the primary cure per the table below, but also increases the side effect. Experimental secondary agent. Increasing this changes the secondary cure per the table below, as long as this is different than the primary, but also increases the side effect. And then the experimental residual decreases the side effect, but this is bugged. It actually increases the side effect. So don't do that one. Apparently, it doesn't actually say don't do this one, but since it's bugged, I'm not going to do it. Note, it is possible and required in some cases to experiment so that the side effect is negated by one of the cure effects. Okay. All right. So there's a chart here that shows me a symptom and percentage chance of the agent that I need in order to cure that symptom. So let's just talk to this droid right here. Actually, we have to talk to Silvara first to start the quest. Hello, I'm the head physician here. Are you one of the new medics sent to help? Yes, I'm here to help. Good. Before we get started, I should let you know that you'll be too busy to help out any other villagers. Also, I will talk with Noden. He can help you with some persuasion techniques if you help out. Are you sure you would like to help? Yes, let's get started. Great. Let me explain what has happened. Let's just accept this. You're needed to help cure the sick villagers. Control the medicine through experimentation, use of various qualities of resources. Through multiple applications of the medications, you should be able to cure the symptoms of the sick. Medical droids will help you administer the cures of the patients. Okay. Great, let me explain what has happened. It seems in the last attack there was some multiple uses of some rather potent chemical weapons. Those you see lying around here are still sick. Unfortunately, normal medicines are not helping them. How are you treating them? Well, I devised a highly potent yet also highly dangerous counteragent to many of the symptoms. The only problem is that it has some side effects that are almost as bad as what they currently have. It's like real life, right? Side effects may include blah, 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 blah. However, through multiple treatments, I've been able to cure some. Here, this draft schematic will allow you to work with the medical droids to help. What do I do with this? The use of high and lower quality components and careful experimentation, you can specialize the treatment to cure specific symptoms. You should also be able to change what sort of side effects it produces. See if you can treat 5 patients, and good luck with that. Good luck with that. Talk to the medical droids. They'll help you administer the medicine. Okay, so let's examine this patient. All right, I guess we don't really converse with this guy. Greetings, I'm the 2-1B medical droid in charge of this patient. How may I assist you? What is wrong with this patient? This patient is currently suffering from fever, vomiting, respiratory failure, partial paralysis, violent spasms, and bloody cough. If you have any treatments you would like to administer him, please give... Please give the treatment to me so I can administer him. I thought there was going to give me one symptom. I didn't know. And I guess I got to figure out, make sure I go back to that one. Okay. Fever. That's really low. All right. This is what I want to create. All right. So fever is really low. It's the lowest, actually, 0 to 8%. So we want this one and this one. Primary curative agent, fever. Okay. All right. Only takes 8 seconds. We're just going to do one at a time, I guess. Might need some more. Come back here. What are you doing? Come back. Come. Where are you going? Okay. All right. So do I do this or something? Yes. Administering medicines to the patient. If you need an updated list of symptoms, please let me know. Yes. Okay, so vomiting. Vomiting is 8 to 16%. Okay. So we want to experiment a little bit. Does this droid not experiment? Where's my droid anyway? It didn't look like I was experimenting, right? Oh boy. It does everything. Private crafting station capability installed. Yes. Ship, structure, clothing, weapon. Huh. Well, I'm not going to be getting very far here. Huh. Okay. Guess I need a droid with medical crafting station installed. Let's go back to that real quick. I thought I had everything. I guess you can't put everything in it. Weapon, droid, and generic item. Clothing. Structure. Architect. Tailor. Tailor and armor smith. Weapon, droid, generic. Ship. Shipwright. And this is just lets it do it, I guess. Okay. Well, let's see if we can do vomiting anyway. So, what else did we have? Respiratory failure. That's right in the middle. So let's do this one, which is really high. And this one, which is really low. Vomiting. Okay, well, that's the one I need. Vomiting. Okay. I don't know what it's using for. Where's my droid anyway? I don't even know which droid is mine. Yeah, I need an updated list. Respiratory failure. So it's like I could just create a bunch of these, right? Maybe I could just create a bunch of these and come prepared, right? Now that I have the schematic. Respiratory failure is like in the middle. I guess if I'm not experimenting, partial paralysis, violent spasms, bloody cough. This isn't one of them. Okay, well, I'll still save it, right? You can just like create a whole bunch of these. Different variations. Oh, okay, so this is what it's using. It's using overall potential energy and unit toughness. It's using everything here. Interesting. Overall potential energy. That they should update their website with that. Overall potential energy and unit toughness. I don't think open source were one of them, right? No? Okay. I'm going to, now that I know it's, say that again. It's overall quality, potential energy, and unit toughness. So on here, it's the first two. That's actually really good bone, but I don't think bone is, it's not taking bone. It has to be Flora Resource. So the wood is actually really pretty low. Fever. Okay, we're just kind of creating things now. We can create a lot of things. Okay, I think we need an experimental droid for food and chemical, and some more variations. Now that we know it's overall quality, potential energy, and unit toughness. Yeah, it doesn't mention that on the website. Okay, I'm going to pause here and I'll be back after I go get that stuff. Okay, I'm back. Bought a new droid. So the other droid I had, the other crafting droid I had, I've had since like week 2 or 3 or something. So I'm assuming that back then they didn't have the resources to properly create a droid that had all the crafting stations. This one literally said all crafting stations installed on it. And I'll just show you. Private, ship, structure, clothing, food, weapon, food. That's one I was missing on my other one. So now I have it. And I brought a few more resources with me, so I don't know which droid is mine. Let's check with this one. Not this one. I don't know. Guess do we have to start over? Fever? I think I already have a fever. Yep. Okay. Pus-filled lesions. Have that. Hey, where are you going? Stop moving so quickly. What are you... Okay. Yeah. Erratic heart rate, respiratory failure, violent spasms, and swelling. Open source. Okay. Alright, back to, okay. The last two I remember, open sores and swelling. Open sores is 17 through 25. I got a really good... Internal bleeding was not one of them, but I got some really good resources in here too. I've been collecting resources since like the first day it came out. And I did take like 6 months off from this game, so I don't have all of the resources, but I have some pretty good ones. Alright. Erratic heart rate. Erratic heart rate. That is near the center. 33 to 41. Okay, I don't know how it's going to know how well I'm doing. But I should be able to experiment now, yeah. So right now it's on open source. Increasing the changes the primary cure per the... Okay. So we want to look for erratic heart rate. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so 18% on the chart is open source, so that makes sense. Like, unlike the last quest I did last week, which those percentages didn't make any sense. Okay, so I want to shoot for 33 to 41. One more. Erratic heart rate. Look at that. It works. Yeah. Look at that. Alright. This is my droid right here. Stop running around so much. Alright, so we have erratic heart rate. Respiratory failure. I guess I can just keep doing this. Respiratory failure is 42 to 50. Okay. One more. Respiratory failure. Yes. Alright, and what else did he have? They have violent spasms. Swelling. Okay, violent spasms is 67 to 75. So we want to go pretty high here. We want some good resources. $67 to 75. Might pass it. Nope. Okay. And swelling. It's a really high one. Swelling is 83 to 91%. Should be able to get it. As many experiment points I have. Okay, let's start popping them on here. Okay, got one done. And yep, 1 of 5. Okay. I'm not gonna have you go through all of these. You can see I will link the phase 1 chart for the symptoms and the experimental agents and kind of see how it works now. You have to click and drag them on there. See how the experiments go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will show you after I'm done, I'll show you the small Aurilian plant that I get. So we'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, so I am back. I've just figured out that I can actually do Cure 2 at the same time using the primary agent and the secondary agent. Okay. That's just by chance that I figured that out. So the last one I just did, I'm on number 2 right now. This patient is currently suffering from pus-filled lesions, respiratory failure, lost vision, and internal bleeding. So pus-filled lesions is 25 to 33. Respiratory failure is 42 to 50. So let's see if we can do both of those at the same time. It's kind of like middle stuff. So I'll do high here and low here. Okay, this one only has 1. I don't know why. Pus-filled lesions. Let's just try to do that one. 25 to 33. Alright. Okay, just doing the second one. And respiratory failure. Stop moving. Respiratory failure is 42 to 50. It has a third one too. Of course. Okay, now it's going to create vomiting because I'm doing that. Interesting. Huh. Okay, so that's going to create vomiting. Interesting. So whenever you start experimenting on the secondary agent, that's when the residual is going to pop in. And since it's 13% on the experimental residual, on the chart, 13% is vomiting. Interesting. I guess you're curing 2 with 1. So that'll probably pop in vomiting. Let's see what that actually does. So maybe you just experiment on the primary one, let the secondary one go. Don't experiment on it. If it happens to cure something else, that's great. I think that's probably the right answer. Yeah, let's get an updated list. Let's see if it created vomiting. Yep. Vomiting, loss of vision, and internal bleeding. Okay, we'll do this one more time. Vomiting's really low. Want 2 crappy ones. 8 to 16 is vomiting. Okay, see, and that would do fever too, because I only experimented on the top one. It enabled the second one. Fever is 0 to 8. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. And this one was programmed much better than this quest was programmed much better than the last phase, or the phase before. When I ever had to turn in, it was last phase. When I had to turn in all the resources. Let's get an updated list. Lost vision and internal bleeding. Okay, lost vision. Internal bleeding's 100. 92 to 100. Okay, so we want some really high stuff here. That's these 2. It's definitely not going to get the second one. Because this would have to be at 50 to 58. So we can just try to get lost vision here. Okay, there's lost vision. And what was the other one? Internal bleeding. Okay, we'll do internal bleeding. We want the highest ones again. Hopefully we can get up to 92 to 100. I'm pretty sure we can. There we go. I'll do the last one just for kicks. So if I was to experiment on the secondary agent right now, it would kick in the residual. Because whenever I experiment on the primary agent, it kicks in the secondary agent. Experiment on the secondary agent, it does the residual. Okay, good to know. All right, I'll be back whenever I'm all done. Thanks, guys. Okay, I just finished the first 5. They went really fast after you figured out what's going on. So I recommend, for the most part, you just want high quality ingredients like these 2, because we know it uses overall quality, potential energy, and unit toughness, I believe it was. Overall quality, potential energy, and unit toughness, I think that's what it was. Whatever I said at the beginning of the video. So that'll get you most of your percentages. The only ones that you can't get probably are fever, vomiting, and open sores. It might default to open source, so that's 17 to 25 without experimenting. Fever and vomiting, you need worse materials. The cool thing about using higher quality ingredients is as soon as you start experimenting for something higher, let's say you need something from 33 to 41%, and you need to experiment 1 or 2 points, because you have higher quality resources, it's going to give you like pus-filled lesions or 25 to 33. It sounds so weird saying that out loud, but you automatically get that. So you'll cure 2. So just use the top 2 experimentation, or just experiment on the top line only, and it'll give you some freebies on the second line automatically without having to experiment on it. Because as soon as you experiment on the second one, it's going to give you some side effects, and you don't want those, because that'll just give you something else to cure, and it doesn't make any sense. So for the most part, just high quality resources, and I don't even think I need this low quality corn anymore. I just use these 2 and this lower quality steel, and that'll give me everything I need. So, but anyway, I wanted to talk to her again to try to, because you have to do this 3 different times in order for it to get, okay. Oh, you are still here. Well, if you like, go ahead and heal at least 5 more patients and come talk to me again. I have a little trinket you might find useful. Oh, yes. Okay. All right, let's do that. All right. I'll be back when I see you get the trinket. Okay. I just finished. So once you get going, it goes pretty quickly. You can probably get 1 done in 2 minutes or so. So a whole set you can get done in 10 minutes. Once you start figuring out your resources you have. It's really late, so I apologize. I'm a little tired. For the most part, if I use my 2 highest quality resources, the steel and these tubers, I could get pus-filled lesions on the second row for free. That's 25 to 33%. So they both start at like 28%, the top one and the middle one, and then I would just use my experimentation on the top one to get whatever was next. Like lost vision is 50 to 58. I'd go up to 50 to 58 on the top row, and then I'd automatically get pus-filled lesions for free. Same for fever and vomiting. You can usually get those together if you use your 2 worst. So you experiment by default. 0 to 8 is fever, 8 to 16 is vomiting. So if you use really terrible resources, you'd get fever for free on the second line of experimentation. And vomiting, you just experiment once or twice to get that, and you get those 2 for free. So that should save you a little bit of time. Here's the ice pendant. Bottom line, it said +5 healing efficiency. It actually is healing potency 2, which healing potency is good. Not good enough for me to wear over, something like that. I mean, this isn't the best necklace in the game that I'm wearing right now for unarmed, but it's much better than healing potency 2. But it's there. I have it now. And my Aurilian Plant. So, small Aurilian Plant. The small Aurilian Plant. These plants are notoriously difficult to grow and maintain. Each plant is unique in its requirements, and these requirements often change over the life cycle. When cared for properly, the plants have been known to bear fruit and miraculous properties. So right now the health is good. Growth rate none, water level is normal, nutrient level. I think as long as I leave it in my inventory, I'm good. From what I remember reading. Let me just look that up real quick. Google it. Small Aurilian Plant, SWG. Yeah, it takes me to the fandom sites, SWG Wiki. Yeah, Aurilian fruits. Leave your plant in a private house with only trusted people on the admin list. You want as little traffic as possible. So don't put it in, like if you're selling wares, don't put it there. Traffic is directly tied to plant growth. Every time you log in and cause the plant to fully load into the world, it will update roughly 5 minutes after you cause it to load. If you have people coming in all day to your house and causing it to load over and over, the water nutrient levels will go down. And it's possible your plant will be reduced to a negative growth rate. For more on loading, unloading, please see this section about planting. So I'll post this on the video too. Different types of water levels and nutrient levels. Yeah, it's pretty complicated, which I like this kind of stuff. So we'll go from there. Thanks everyone. I appreciate you watching my video, and have a great night.